All right, guys. So we're here today to talk about SRC. This is a very kind company that I really have good feelings about it. I went to Alicante, which is south of Spain, to visit them. And Deauville and Marco, they're just great. They are a very good and dedicated company. And they sent us a prototype. Has been sitting here for a long time. But now we have a LMP class. And so the prototype was just a bone. It was completely empty, and the pod was kind of fused to the chassis. And I have Todd here. Thank you very much, Todd, for being here. And Todd got the prototype. Todd is the last poly position that we have. So I asked Todd, can you put your knowledge and everything that you did for this very fast GT car that he raced? Was it scale auto? No, it was a racer sideways.
No, I'd raced a scale auto.
Scale auto. Well,
Yeah.
but the racer sideways that Brandon raced, which was the second position for the qualifying,
And then
was
Bob's
also Bob's fourth position. So there you go. So Todd was here doing very good cars, and I got this to him. So look, make a list of parts. Use the most SRC parts that you have, and put this car together. Let's try out. So my only thing was, let's use the same NSR motor that we used on the GT class, so you can have an idea of how fast this car will go. So we have like a time just to measure, right? So before we talk about this prototype, I just wanted to let you know that SRC is pretty cool. Check it out. This is the new BMW 3.0 CSL. It's a new mold. Comes with a cool chassis, and they have like this new suspension here in the back.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool. Moves the whole chassis and the whole motor pod. Again, SRC is doing great stuff. It's completely different than 5-10 years ago. Just to go historically a little bit, SRC is a company that came from Fly. It was supposed to be a second line for Fly cars, and somehow they sell the company and went back and forth, and now we have Marco Antonio and Deauville taking care of it. Marco Antonio was one of the guys who was in charge of Ninco. So if you see a lot of Ninco cars, Marco Antonio had his hands on it. So it's a very expensive guy. The factory looks very nice. You need to see it. And they have all the companies around the factory. They do the molds, the chassis, the pool stuff. It's incredible the way that those guys are working. And we're proud to announce that now we're carrying the whole line of parts. So if you need any part from SRC, we have it here. We'll cover from motors, from chassis, from replacements, from those cool Fux wheels. How's it called? The Porsche Fux wheels? Give a fuck.
What's the molded front wheels?
What's it called? The name of the Porsche wheels? Fux. F-O-C.
Oh, yeah.
Fux.
F-U-C-H-S. Yeah.
Fux, right?
Probably Fuchs.
Fuchs. Okay. Don't give a fuke.
I don't know.
Don't give a fuke. So they're very cool. Those cars, they come in this very nice box. Check it out, SRC. And again, if you get one of those cars and try it, and if you want to change one part or another, we've been carrying all the parts from them. It's a cool company that we're very close to. They were kind enough to send this prototype. This is a Porsche 919. And let's talk a little bit about this. So sure. This is not before we go that this is not the first one. They did the Toyota that is sold out all around the world, and we still have this double pack, and we still have the number 8, which is the Alonso car, the Le Mans winner in 2018, and we have the number 7 car that I think is the Kobayashi car. We still have the double pack, and we have the individual car for number 8 and number 7. If you want one of those, just go on the website because it's pretty much done. They're not going to make any more. I think we have like 3 or 4 of those left.
We have by the time this video is released.
Yeah. By the time the video is released, I don't know how many we have. So if you're watching now and you go to the website, just check it out. So this is the Porsche 919. And Todd put this together for us. Todd, do you want to talk a little bit about this guy and why I open it?
Yeah. So it was a prototype that was made as a non-running car. But essentially what we did was, what I did is took the molded in motor pod that was all one piece with the chassis and cut that out very carefully. and made it so that it could take a stock pod. And so we built it up just like you would a normal car. And to be honest, I was very surprised just how well it ran with nothing done to it.
Yeah.
You know, when we ran it with no weight in it at all, it drove wonderfully.
Yeah, but first we try a 17K motor,
Yeah.
which it was kind of okay, but not as
You could tell that the car wanted more.
More, right.
Like it took that 17K motor and you almost couldn't come out of the slot. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never had a car hold on to the slot that hard before.
Yep. And then we put the 21.5K from NSR, which is the motor that we use on the GT class, so we can have some sort of a...
Yeah. And it took those motors are really torque heavy. And it took all that. I mean, you can see there's two little Professor motor weights in there. So
Yeah, and
like
that's
3.5 grams of weight about.
so
And that's it.
So basically we have the body, which is kind of innovative because the body moves the front. So
Yeah.
it's very flexible, and this is a big difference for us, this big thing. But you can tell that this is a 3D printed prototype, and it's not, the plastic's not the final product. And even though the car went great on the track, the chassis is the same thing for the material. Is not the final material. It's very flexible, which is something that is not good for a track.
Yeah.
You need more hardness, a bit more stiffness. And again, you cut off the pod, right? Because the pod was kind of in the mold. And then we put one of the SRC pods. We are using slotting plus gears, and we're using NSR.
Yeah, actually, those are SRC gears.
SRC gears,
And
okay.
I was very impressed with
Even the
they
pinion?
they do the set screw pinions,
The set screw pinion, yeah.
which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. And everybody, it's good. The set screw pinion is good because, first of all, the gear mesh is perfect. And secondly, if you're here at the track and you want to change and try something different, you just
Yeah, it just makes
snap in and out.
making adjustments to angle winder setups
Yeah.
really easy.
And we have the NSR wheels and NSR tires because these are the tires that work better for us here at the track, so we don't have to waste time trying stuff.
Yeah, so those are actually the tires off of my GT car.
Okay, so I need to return this. No, so those are the same cars, same tires, exactly the same tires that we made the pole here.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's a good starting ground. And the pole was 5.739 or 37.
No, it was 5.937,
5.9.
I think.
So this guy is doing
Yeah.
5.7s already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here we go. We're 2/10 faster than the GT class, and this is literally a prototype that is flimsy and
Yeah.
they just sent to us. So tell me about the setup that you have here. You don't have suspension, but you have like dampeners here on the back on the side, right?
Yeah, so this is something that I've used on a lot of my builds where I want some dampening. I think the rubber, like a rubber washer, is a little more faster responding than a spring. It doesn't have any kind of like the binding issues you can get with springs. And then they've got really interesting stuff with their pods where they have like that bar that can connect the back two posts.
Yeah.
You know, that
I'm
can
gonna
kinda work.
illustrate this with pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can
But
explain.
it works almost like a kind of like a sway bar. It's similar to how a thunder slot is set up in the back end. And then the front attachment point's kind of the interesting one, the unique one to SRC. It's got that pivot. So it's actually a captive like rod that goes through there.
This guy?
No, so if you look at like where that bracket is in the front, right here,
You need to show like this.
this camera.
No, here. The camera is
Yeah.
gonna be right.
So this one right
Higher,
here,
Hi. There we go.
Hi.
Okay.
see that?
Okay.
It's actually a rod that just has a bigger head on it, so it's held in place by this, and there's a set screw that allows it to float up and down, or you can
Okay.
kind of lock it down. But it can actually, if I loosen these more, it would actually pivot around that. So it's it allows it to flex, like it allows the rear to flex independent of the front a lot more.
Yeah.
And since this chassis is so flexible, I mean, you can see it when you drive it. When you take it hard into a corner,
Yeah.
it actually,
Which is
like,
something that is not very good for us here.
yeah, it's got different applications for our track.
Yeah, I think in
but-
Spain and Europe they used to race plastic tracks, so they want to do very flexible and very light. But I feel like for us here, the ideal thing would be like to have those holes closed, So you can have more material, more stiffness, and you can have space to put weights on it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing we've noticed, right, with a lot of the Spanish brands, because
They're being open
race
holes.
they raise plastic track, and their 30-second scale. I think a lot of times they're not allowed to put ballast in cars, and so they don't really make
But you still
space for it. But we found some space for it.
Here you are with 5.7s.
Yeah,
Pretty fast.
yeah, and I mean we've done another one like this, and it took a lot more to get there.
Yeah.
And this one was like right out of the box.
I'm looking forward to see this car in production. We
Yeah.
don't have a release date yet, so you cannot go to the website and pre-order. But I'm guarantee you that we're gonna have enough for everybody, because the Porsche 919 is just a beautiful car. I had the chance to see it on the Porsche Museum, and over there they have the one with the covered headlights that they use for the Nürburgring.
Oh wow.
So you know about that, right? So what they did was like, okay, now the car is retired, let's take to the Nürburgring and do whatever you wanted to it to see how it goes. And right now it holds the record for the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
No, they exploded the record.
Yeah,
It was-
it's exploded the record. It's faster than a Formula One car. So this is a very, very nice car. I'm looking forward to see this into production, to see deliveries. And I'm looking forward to see the races that we're going to have here, because now we have a LMP class. It's going to be fun to see it, this thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out for LMPs, and that's going to be
One of the
one
contenders.
of them. That's a big contender. Yep,
Thank you, man.
of course.
It's Friday night. Nobody wants to be here. Let's go.